just before any big festival, this kind of things happens. So devotees are always fearful, when they will attack. One good thing is that in Bangladesh, Hindus are uniting. These hooligans are afraid. They know that if something happens, it is going to become international issue, and Hindus are not going to keep quiet. So they know that.
Namaste, very good evening. Welcome to Citti Media. I'm your host Citti. Just a few months ago, we covered an exclusive story here on Citti Media where the Vice President of ISKCON, Radharamn Prabhu, joined us for a conversation where he sent us a very emotional message on the condition, on the plight faced by the devotees of ISKCON temples in Bangladesh when it was reeling under severe attacks. This is not the first time something like this has happened to the Hindus in the neighborhood. Be it Pakistan, Bangladesh, or Afghanistan, Hindus have been constantly persecuted over the last few centuries, and it continues to happen under the watchful eyes of so called democratic governments of Bangladesh, Pakistan. Why is this happening? And today, yet again, while India and the rest of the world celebrates Holi, Hindus in Bangladesh have yet again faced another attack by an Islamist mob. I'm joined by Radharamn Prabhuji again, and he's giving us updates as and when things happen on the ground. Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Namaste, thank you for joining us.
Hare Krishna, happy Holi to you also.
I wish we could have spoken on a positive note, but unfortunately, what we are witnessing in Bangladesh, it's happened once again just after a few weeks or months.
Actually, it's very, very unfortunate. But we are thinking that nothing happened between Durga Puja incident and this. That is an illusion. Actually, the attacks continued after Durga Puja also, not to the ISKCON temple, but other Hindu minorities temple. In February, when devotees were celebrating Saraswati Puja, we got news that some Saraswati deities were also destroyed. So this thing happens on regular basis in Bangladesh, which is very, very concerning and very, very sad.
What do we know of the details about the attack this time?
Yesterday evening, when Gaur Purnima and Holi is celebrated in big way in all ISKCON temples worldwide. In Dhaka, we have several temples. In Dhaka, I think we have more than 7-8 temples. So in one of our temples in Dhaka, by the name Sri Radhakanta temple, it's a very ancient temple, and ISKCON is taking care of that temple. So around a mob of 200 people, they entered our temple premises there, and then they were chanting slogan like Nara Takbir, and they started fighting with devotees. In this couple, 3 of our devotees got injured. But fortunately, devotees, when they called police arrived on time, and police they drove away these miscreants from our temple premises. So right now, situation is under control. But this is very concerning because just before any big festival, this kind of things happens. So devotees are always fearful, when they will attack.
Absolutely. I think the intention here is to, associate some amount of fear before any Hindu celebrations for that matter. But is there any, tangible action taken by the police? Because just dispersing the mob is not going to be enough.
We don't know details like what police did with those who attacked. We hope that they will be arrested and necessary action will be taken. But one good thing is that our devotees, they were not fearful yesterday. So they also, try to protect themselves. And one good thing is that in Bangladesh, Hindus are uniting. So these miscreants, they are also fearful. It's not that they're not fearful of us, but I don't know what is taught to them that in spite of, all this thing that, we are also rising up, but something is there that they don't have any fear if they die or police hang them. They think that that is an award for their deeds. So it's very, very unfortunate that how they are brainwashed to believe that if they kill a kafir, then they are going to get some higher thing up there. Very, very unfortunate. But good thing is that Hindus are uniting, and we are. What can be done? What else we can do? But same time, we like to draw the attention of other people. Like just 2 days back, United Nations, they declared 15 March as a day to condemn Islamophobia. Same United Nations, during Durga Puja, when they killed a few of our devotees. When we wrote later, they took 2 days to send one delegation to Bangladesh. But they will, like lakhs of people, Hindus were killed in Bangladesh, Pakistan. But this same United Nations is unmute to the cries of these people, the Hindu minorities, the minorities of Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan.
No, you're
And same
absolutely
United
right.
Nations is declaring for 1 day every year to discuss Islamophobia. What a double standard.
Absolutely. I mean, there are so many Islamic countries where people can take refuge. And this is the only country where, I mean, constitutionally also we happen to be a secular country. So technically there is no exclusive land for the Hindus. And that way the double standards have been exposed. So do you think the United Nations should actually, look at coining the term Hinduphobia and giving it more weightage and legitimacy for that matter?
Actually, I don't personally accept anything from United Nations now because we have a very bad experience, and it's very funny. People, they give respect to these organizations and all that, but when they act in such biased manner, then people will lose hope. Nobody will look towards United Nations, and they will lose their relevance very soon.
Indeed, just on the day of when the Indian envoy to the United Nations was making a point that phobia against Hindus, Sikhs, and other Indic religions should be taken note. Just because one movie, The Kashmir Files, was released, it was being dubbed as though it was an Islamophobic movie. So it has reached a point where we can't even produce a single movie based on what actually happened to us.
This is the double standard, and this is good also because those Hindus who were sleeping, they can now see how we were duped for so long. Even Hindus are not allowed to narrate their dukh bhari kahani. That is very, very unfortunate. These are real incident, and only the Kashmir files only shows what a few people has gone through. Like them, there are lakhs of people. Lakhs of Kashmiris who went through hell. We don't know. These people who narrated, who were alive, they told their stories, and Kashmiri file is just depicting in those 3 hours. But lakhs of Kashmiris who has lost their everything for so long, and they are living in tents still now till this date. So we don't have anything to say against those people who find anything, even when our victims, they narrate their story, they label it as Islamophobia.
You're absolutely right. And since you're also somebody who's serving in Bengal, and Bengal has gone through a very, very turbulent time since almost 100 years or even more, where Hindus have been actively persecuted. We've had the partition, and right now we are seeing a persecution under what is known and called to be a friendly government of towards India.
This is very sad condition. It's not only Bangladesh or a particular state. If you see all over India, wherever Hindus become minorities, it becomes life and death. It's become very difficult for them to survive. Their survival becomes very difficult. You just do survey. If anywhere where Hindus are minorities, slowly they are driven away, practically driven away from that area. So, but this has to be addressed, and Hindus has to unite, because this is, this is great injustice, and we have to rise. We have to speak about it, and we have to resist this attempt to drive away Hindus from wherever they are in minorities.
What do you think is the long-term solution? Because although there is a positive attitude, is what you're saying, that the devotees were not afraid this time and they stood up to the miscreants. But on the long run, you cannot keep defending yourself. You have to have a right to peaceful life and a right to worship whoever you want to.
Actually, the responsibilities lies with the governments. It's not the people's job to defend themselves. But when governments fail, what else people can do? In Kashmir, also the Kashmiris, they were looking towards police officer, towards army, towards that chief minister, toward that governor, toward that time's prime minister. But forget about helping them. They were shut. They were not provided facilities in their tent. They were living as refugees. The government didn't provide even, they were given, I think, 600 rupees or 60 rupees per month or per year, something like that. And the same terrorists, when they surrendered their guns, they were given lakhs of rupees and job. So the responsibility lies with government, and government is very biased towards Hindus.
Have you had the chance to speak to your counterparts in Dhaka?
Yes, I spoke with them today morning. So they told that the situation is under control, but they were in a strong mood. They told this time police also came, and we got feeling is that because that Durga Puja incident became international issue, United Nations also after 2 days they came to Bangladesh. So there is general perception that we can't touch ISKCON temples. Is there? They're afraid. These hooligans are afraid. They know that if something happens, it is going to become international issue, and Hindus are not going to keep quiet. So they know that.
But there are also other Hindus who are not directly associated to ISKCON who may be facing a lot of other issues, right?
After Durga Puja incident, all Hindus are uniting together. So ISKCON is uniting with other people, and other people are standing united with ISKCON.
Right.
Because everybody there is in difficulty. So one good thing is that all Hindu organizations are very much united in Bangladesh.
That's a very positive sign. And in fact, if ISKCON is taking the leadership for it, and I think that's a sign of progress. And I hope better times prevail for all our devotees in Bangladesh. Thank you so much for taking your time out to join us, Prabhu. Happy Holi, and I hope everyone is safe in Bangladesh.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Happy Holi.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net.